all right, you're hired to get closer and you're on a call, and all of a sudden you hear, I need to do more research, or I want to do more research, or this sounds great, or yes, I understand the model, I understand the vehicle, I understand the opportunity, but my idea is to do more research. So everything around the word research, how do you deal with that situation? Is that a true objection? Is that a smokescreen? Should we continue? Should we stop the call right here, right now? This fragment of a coaching session I'm about to share with you is all about that. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I had a call with the guy. He was like 45, I don't know, older guy, had three kids. And he said he liked the process, he liked the structure, he liked everything. He gave me the objection of, again, like the call was framed that, this is just for us to get to know each other, just for us to yeah, it wasn't framed as, I have to take action on the call, which okay, I understood that, but he also told me he wants to know better what he's going into and research the industry. Like he liked us, but he had an issue. He was still a bit apprehensive about the industry, and I didn't know to what sort of fear was that. It was, I mean, obviously it was like a fear of tomorrow, because after asking him many questions of like what is he actually looking into, what sort of information he would like to research about, he said, how do you make sure that you're getting paid and I by the client you have as an appointment setter? And he said, yeah, how do you make sure of that? And then I probably could have handled that by asking, like, how is it guaranteed that you're gonna be paid by, your current employer? Or I don't know, have you ever encountered such a situation before, where they want to know more about the industry and what they're getting into? And he
Yeah.
watched the pre-call video, so
Yeah, I got you. That's a really great question, and it's gonna be pretty helpful for everybody. I'm just gonna explain something, okay? Because this applies
mhm,
to for a lot of situations that a lot of us experience. Here's the thing: when in the brain of someone, uncertainty or the hypothalamus is just triggered, where it's like danger, go back to the comfort zone. This is dangerous, right? Uncertainty is created. Like we start the bodies. There's some chemics that we start questioning. What if? Blah 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 blah, and then uncertainty starts to kick in. Okay, uncertainty, fear, however you want to call it. Cool. That thing, like you can imagine it, you can see that as a liquid that just floating. That thing called uncertainty is gonna come out of their mouth through different statements. But for everybody, it's gonna be different. At that point, the brain is just looking for a way to communicate that uncertainty without sounding nonsense. The brain is very smart. Like I need to find something that looks logic, that feels logical to be able to express an obstacle, like why I cannot move forward, right? That's what the
yeah,
brain's trying to do. And through probing and clarifying, what we're really trying to understand is what is that source of uncertainty, right? Is it me? Is it you? Is the past? Is the future? Is outside things I cannot control, right? There's 5 sources of uncertainty. Once you identify what the source is, you've made a pretty good diagnosis. That's step number 1. Okay, it's like, oh, okay, I know is fear of tomorrow. I cannot predict the future. Okay, you now know what it is. Is everybody with me so far? Yes, cool. Now, you knowing what it is and actually tackling it or fixing it, it might require what some people call labeling. I call it channeling, because what they're saying, okay, I cannot immediately use one of my reframes. I need to do a little bit of channeling. I need to modify the words. So what you're saying here, you mean this, or when you say this, what I'm hearing is that. So you're channeling what they say, or when you say this is more this or that, so we can get it to a place where I can execute a reframe. Like that process is, I like to call it channeling. So for example, someone goes and says, this looks good, but do you have any kind of agreement that goes with this? Sure, of course we do. Did you ask that for a reason? Yes, because I've done other programs in the past, and because they didn't have an agreement, I just didn't, it didn't go that well. Got you. Okay, so what I'm hearing right now is that everything looks good. You truly believe this is going to help you. You want to do this. You believe in what we do here. You just want to make sure that it's not going to happen what happened in the past. What I just did there, I did that. I took their words that started with, do you guys have an agreement with this? I probe a little bit, and then I just channel it through, okay, really what this is like you're 100% in. It's just that you want to make sure that things play out properly this well, so it doesn't happen what happened in the past. Yes. Okay, cool. Can I make a suggestion here? And now you can execute your reframe, but you cannot execute a reframe of girlfriend, car analogy, or restaurant with, do you have an agreement? You have to probe and do this channeling thing. You with me?
yeah. So for this case, would it look like, okay, so you want to make sure that, or like you're
I'll put an example.
concerned.
You are
Yeah.
the lead. I totally get it, 100%. I have a question for you. How much research is enough research?
Yeah, good question.
Why are you going to research another 5 companies? Why not 50?
Yeah, but it wasn't about the company. That's what I'm saying. He didn't want to
Oh,
research the
so what was it?
company. He wanted to research the industry, as in
Yeah, that's what I
the
mean. So by you researching the industry, right? What did they mean? Looking at other companies or just looking
No,
the
just because he said he isn't used to, this online space where businesses are completely online, and it's not like the banking industry or the finance industry where they have buildings and they have corporations and blah blah blah. So he wanted to research to make sure that to just get his head around how the online coaches work, with where they get their money from, how they operate as a business, and then I managed to get down to and if there is any guarantees. And he said, I asked, what do you mean by guarantees? Oh, guarantees that I'm gonna get paid. And then I mean,
Well, for example, right then and there, his uncertainty is
Yeah.
coming out as fear for tomorrow, fear of the future. Like, I cannot
Yeah.
predict the future. Well, like, you can probe into that and you can channel it. Like, you can probe into that and then you can just say, okay, so what I'm hearing is that this looks great. You just want to make sure that things are actually going to play out. Like, if you do these things, are actually going to work for you. That's why you're asking for a guarantee. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now you got them where you need to. You have them because now you can execute it. There's nothing guaranteeing life. This and this. It's not about guarantees. It's about odds. The most successful entrepreneurs that I know, they don't care. They don't care about guarantees because they know that doesn't exist. They care about odds. They care about which move or which decision puts them in the best position possible, where is inevitable or is unreasonable not to be successful. So when you look at what you're doing and what you have, which one of these two do you feel puts you in the worst position to be the provider and take care of your family? Doing what you're currently doing, or actually having the help? Doing what I'm currently doing because I don't have the skills. Okay, and what happens if you continue to go down that path and you keep deciding, putting yourself in that position where you have the least amount of odds? What's going to happen then? And are you willing to settle for that? Why not? Okay, so what do you feel you need to do today so that you can put yourself in the position where you have the best odds and actually make your success, no matter of when, no matter of if, to make sure that your success is unreasonable for you not to be successful.
Not to be successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So in order to actually get to the point where he's opening up about the uncertainty, would there be any faster way when he says, yeah, I want to research the industry? Like, my own opinion is that, yeah, I can ask just like, okay, what do you want to research on? What information do you need? What would you like to see? Are there any other better questions to get?
Yes, I wouldn't even say questions. I would say process. There's a process that it really helps you prevent a lot of objections. Because if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I am wrong, you do price first when you pitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally don't do that for a reason. And the reason why I do that is because you cannot temp check the process first, because now the price is in the equation. Because you go, okay, cool, let's go into presentation. First of all, is 5K. And for that, this is what we do. That's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that doesn't work. Okay. I know it works. But the reason why I don't like it is because now when you're temp checking, the price is in the equation. So you cannot isolate the process. So that's why I like to do price at the end, because before I go into investment, I ask them, before we go into the investment, how do you feel about the process? Is this what you're looking for? And if they tell me, well, I don't know, I need to do more research, or I'm in a better position because I still have leverage. I can pre-handle objections since I haven't covered the price, since I haven't shared the price yet. I am in a much, much better position to prevent and pre-handle, which is a situation where they are more open to change because the price is not in the equation. They're more suggestive. They're more open to change their mind. I'm not asking you to change the way you do sales because frankly, you have a pretty solid process and I know what you're doing works and you know what you're doing. I've seen one of your calls. So I know that you're doing great, brother. Like, don't doubt yourself. Your process works solid. I know who you train with. So, but that is a caveat of your process. Like, your process has that thing in, which is you do price first. Therefore, you cannot isolate the process. Well, I mean, you could, right? That's why I don't use that process. You could say, cool, everything is great. Now, price aside, what do you think about the process? But they know the price. Like, they know the price, right? So now they can just make up their answers.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. About just like funneling down to the actual uncertainty, would there be any? I mean, okay, let's say I didn't say the price, right? But they would still give this thing about the industry. How would you funnel it down as quick as possible to get that uncertainty? they were saying, "Oh, I just want to research the industry."
Yeah. First of all, when you get these objections, like is the first objection you've gotten, you don't want to change everything you're doing just for the 1%. Like if what you're doing is working for the 80, 90%, just keep doing what you're doing. That's first of all. Now, if you see a pattern, a lot of people giving you, I want to do more research, right? I want to make sure is that in the discovery phase, I make sure they understand the business model, they understand the vehicle for use appointment setting, right? So cool. So what is it about appointment setting that speaks to you? Like why considering appointment setting rather than any other way of making money online? Oh,
Yeah,
because
I've
of
asked
this.
this, and he said, "Yeah, because I can do it in my own time. I can do it besides my job." They give reasons why it can fit and it's better, but that still didn't come out. How the industry works, and I'm uncertain about the industry.
Yeah, if you ask those questions, right, and you see how they have a pretty good understanding of appointment setting, you know that they know how the vehicle works. You know that there is inclination, there's alignment to actually be an appointment setter. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they would say, "Well, I don't know. I haven't really looked that much into it." Boom. Now you can decide what to do from there. You have someone that is very early in the process. They don't even know about the vehicle, right? You can catch it earlier. But if they like appointment setting, if they want to become an appointment setter with the help of a coach already, then that's going to give me the confidence at the end. If they give me that objection, that is fear. It's just pure fear. It's not a logistical, I truly, genuinely need to know all of this because you told me that you already have an understanding of what it is. You already want to do it. You're just looking for help. You see?
Yeah.
That's why I know it's not a logistical, I actually need to do a little bit more research, right? So then I would just probe into it a little bit more. And then if they're trying to understand every single thing of it, for whatever reason, it's like, I need to know more than what I know right now. And that is just simply uncertainty. You can do the pilot. It's like, can I make a suggestion? Can I put you an example? When you go into a plane, you ask the pilot to go into the cabin and just really make sure that everything is fine before we take off the plane. Just take your seat. Yeah, I don't do that. Yeah, why don't you do that? Like, why every time you go into a plane, you don't go and you ask the pilot and you make sure everything is okay? Because that's not your responsibility. What's your responsibility? Your responsibility is to be on time, on board, sit down, and put your seatbelt. That's it. The rest is on the pilot. Here's the same. That's why we exist. That's not your responsibility, brother. Like, do you genuinely believe that if this industry wasn't booming enough, academies like ours would even exist? So would it be safe to say, and now that is disarming the objection. You're just dissolving the objection. Then I go, oh yeah, that makes sense. And now I'm going to channel it. Would it be safe to say that this is less about you researching the industry and more about the fact that this is a jump outside of your comfort zone? You're just having a little bit of uncertainty if things are actually going to play out. Is that what's going on here? Would that be fair to say? Let's face it, that's pretty much what's going on, right? Because you're getting outside of your comfort zone. This is uncomfortable. I got it. Now, can I make a suggestion here? Can I share something with you that really helped me out? And now you go, because now they've agreed with you that is not researching, is uncertainty, is fear. It's me. It's fear of me. It's like, I'm making a big step. I'm afraid things are actually going to play out. And now you go that because you know how to handle that, right? When someone is, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah. I could handle that, but he didn't give it. It was this smoke screen that I was just.
It's just channeling. It's just moving. They say this, you dig in, and then you just go, okay, you can use that line. Would it be fair to say that it's less about that and more about this? You channel it, and then they agree, and you just say, would it be fair to say? And if they say, well, how about you go, let's face it, this is not a made up, it's just like, and they're going to accept. And once they accept, yes, I am uncertain, I am doubtful, boom, you execute whatever the reframe you got.
Yeah, okay.
And this works for everybody, guys. You're getting all of this all the time, especially with uncertainty-based objections. They give you all sorts of smoke screens, right? So check behind. There's an agreement. Can I speak with the client? I need to do more research. There's a lot of scams out there. It's the same shit. You check behind, you probe behind, you disarm the objection, whatever that might be. You can pick whatever you want, and then you channel it. Hey, brother, would it be safe to say that this is less about that and more about that? Hey, brother, would it be precise to say that it's not really this, it's more that? And you move it to a place where you can execute a reframe, whatever that might be, whatever that might make the most sense at the moment. And boom, now you're on track. And then you do a reframe, closing question, and you close them, or they give you something else. Same shit again. And you just keep looping. We can role play, do some examples maybe on Thursday or something.
Thank you.
But when someone is, you got it. You're doing a great job, by the way. When someone is uncertain, not all the times they're going to have the ability, the communication skills expressed to you to tell you what is it that they are uncertain about. That's where we really need to lead there. We need to lead because they are freaking out. They are just like almost like they're just sweating there, and they just need help. They need binaries. They need to have more emotional intelligence to really understand what's going on so that we can help them most of the heavy lifting. So that's why when it's not super clear, when it's clear, it's clear. When it's like, I don't have 5K right now. I want to do, but I don't have 5K right now. That's easy. Or whatever that might be. But if it's a smoke screen, we have work to do in that sense.
So just correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to make sure I understand here. If it's so this smoke screen, obviously it just because, you know, of emotional EQ, like you said, kind of makes you think of fear of the future. However, sometimes they can give you some random smoke screens, and then when it's not clear if it's about the future or the past or themselves, you can just ask straight away. Like you move past the smoke screen and you say, okay, come on, like what's coming up? Is it that you don't? Is it that this would be the first time you're doing this and you're a bit apprehensive, or you've done something like this in the past? My question is, you have the alternative of channeling, or you have the alternative of presenting like three potential types of uncertainties, of fears,
Yeah,
and then let
you
you.
can. Yeah, you can give them the options
Yeah.
as well. But what I would just rather do is I would just try to take a guess, just develop your intuition there, and it's like, what do I believe it is? For example, let's say in this case, like, yeah, I think it's like this guy is just doubting himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that, and guess what? If it's not that, they will tell me what it is.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine I say, hey, brother, like, but first you have to dig in. You have to probe a little bit to see if you have to disarm the objection, or maybe just by probing you get the real objection. But let's say I disarm it first. So once it's disarmed, now I have to take the lead. Otherwise, what are we going to do? Look at each other. So I disarm the objection, and then I go, would it be safe to say that this is less about us delivering results and more the fact that we're just lacking a little bit of certainty right here, right now, certainty that things are going to play out, that this is going to work for you. And if they say, no, it's not that. It's that I've tried things in the past and they didn't work. Great too. Oh, I see. Okay, let's break that down. Right. So it's either you're right or they give you something else. You can also do that.
Yeah.
That's
That
how you move it.
intuition.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, man, like honestly, worst case scenario, just go with a self-esteem. I fear me. I'm doubtful. There's always going to be that there. You can always start there. Very difficult that someone says, no, it's not that, you know?
Yeah.
Very difficult that someone says, no. It's very difficult that you say, would it be safe to say that it's less about this and the fact that you're just lacking a little bit of certainty that things are going to play out and this is actually going to work for you? Very difficult that someone says, no, it's not that. It's very hard because there's always this, they are stepping outside of their comfort zone. And that by nature implies a little bit of self-doubt. You know, just test it for yourself. Let me know how it goes. But I don't see anybody saying, no, it's not that. I know this is going to work for me.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I'll do that.
You got it. Let me know how it goes.
All right, that's it for this video. If you like it, smash the like button. It really helps the channel and also tells me that, hey, maybe I should do more of these videos. Number 2, share your biggest takeaway down in the comments below. Just one biggest takeaway. I would love to know. I read all the comments. And number 3, if you have a request for a video or a specific challenge you're facing as a high ticket closer or in your calls, share it down below or share it privately in my Instagram. I'm more than happy to have that in mind for future videos. I'll see you in the next one.